Here we are at page 7. We're going to do the solutions from 10 to 18. Here we're told to solve each system of equations by elimination this time, which means we're going to try to get rid of one of the variables, not by substituting in, but by adding them and watching them go away. So with number 10, here we have 2x minus 3y equals 6 and 5x plus 3y. Look at that. The y's are set up right now, so if we add them, we get 7x equals 28. Divide both sides by 7, we get x equals 4. If you compare this to what we did with number 8 or number 9, I'm not sure which one it was, maybe it was number 7, we get the same answer, but a little slicker right there. So we go ahead and stick 4 back in over here. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract that, and we get 2 divided by 3. Y is 2/3. So we get the exact same answers, but elimination is a different method to get this. So here, if we add these, we get 8x, and we don't get anything going away. So we got to change something. We could change this times that, but that'd be kind of hard. I think we got to times the top guy by 2, and let's see what happens there. If we times that, we get a 6x plus 5x. That'll give us an 11x. This is a 2y. It'll make that a negative 2y. 2y, negative 2y, gone. Poof. Equals, and then here 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 plus negative 29 is negative 33. Divide by 11, and we get x equals negative 3. If we take that negative 3 and stick it back up on either one of these, we get 5 times a negative 3 minus 2y equals negative 29, negative 15. Add 15 over to both sides, we get negative 2y is a negative 14, y equals 7. So we get negative 3, 7. And number 12. Ooh, yuck. It looks like we could try and get the x's, but it looks like the y's are set up pretty well here. So if we times by 7, those will go away. So we times this guy by 7 and add it to that one, and we end up with 21x plus 4x is a 25x. Those guys go away, and 98 plus 2 equals 100. So divide, and we get x equals 4. Let's use a different color sticking 4 in this time. So stick 4 in here. We get 12 minus y equals 14. Subtract 12 and you get negative y equals 2. That y is a negative 2. So that means 4, negative 2 on that one. Number 13. 4x plus 3y equals 7. 8x plus 6y equals 14. The y's don't look too bad. The x's don't look too bad either. Let's multiply the top guy by a negative 2 and try to get rid of the x's here. So that'll be a negative 8x plus 8x is gone. That'll be a negative 6x plus negative 6y plus 6y. That's 0 on that side. Those both went away. And on this side we get negative 14 plus 14 equals 0. 0 equals 0. That means those two lines are always crossing, so there's an infinite number of solutions. Remember back in linear equations that was all real numbers. Well, here the entire line, so it's not all the real numbers along the real axis, it's all of those that meet that criteria. Alright, let's try 14. Ooh, so we could get rid of the x's again. Negative 2. So that's going to give us 0 and 0. Oh, but that's going to give us 1. That means these two lines never cross. There is no solution. And you can kind of tell what's going on here. This slope is a negative 4/3. And this slope is a negative 4/3. These two are parallel lines that aren't the same line. These two are parallel and they lay right on top of each other, so they're the exact same line. Number 15. Let's try this. So no solution there. We could times the top by 2. And that'll allow us to get rid of the y's here. So that'll be 6x plus 7x is 13x. 2 times 3y, that's a 6y. Minus 6y is 0, gone, good, and that's 14 minus 14 is 0. So that means x gives us 0 here. So if we stick it back in, let's grab that different color, and we have 3 times 0 is 0, plus 3y equals 7. That means y equals a 7/3. So x is 0, y is 7/3. Good, and you could see it would work here. If that was 0 and that was 7/3, 6 times 7/3, 6 cancels with the 3, leaves a 2. 2 times 7 is 14, so it works on there as well. Number 16. Okay, the y's don't look so good here. We'd have to times this guy by a 5 and that guy by a -2 to get them to both 10. We can times the bottom one by a -6. That might work pretty well. -6 and 6 go away. This becomes a +12 minus 5. That's a 7y equal +18 plus 3 is a 21. That means y equals 3. Stick that y equals 3 back in anywhere. Let's pick the bottom one, I guess. X minus y is 3. That's 6 equals a -3. So we get x equals, add 6 over there, and we get x equals 3. So we get 3 as a solution. And we can double check this. 6 times 3 is 18, minus 5 times 3 is 15. 18 minus 15 is 3. And 3 minus 6 is indeed a -3. Number 17. Okay, do we want to try to get rid of the x's? Well, we could turn them both into a 6, but we get rid of the y's if we just times this guy by 3 and add them together. So this becomes 9x minus 2x is a 7x, and 3y, -3y, and 3y is gone, equals 3 times 17 is 51 minus 16, that's a 35. Oh, I'm glad that came out. X equals 5. Now we stick the 5 back in somewhere up here. Let's stick it up in the top one. We get -2 times 5 is -10 plus a 3y must equal -16. So we took this 5 and just went right up there like that. Add 10 and we get 3y equals a -6. Y equals, divided by 3 is a -2. That means that our solution is 5 for x and y is a -2. And just to double check, we get -10 minus 6 is -16, and sticking to the next one, we get 3 times 5 is 15 minus a -2 is indeed 17. Excellent. Number 18. Ooh, yuck. 5 and 6, we could turn them both into 30s, or we could turn these both into 12s. I like turning those into 12s. So we're going to times this guy by a 3 and this guy by a -4. See what happens here. That becomes a 12 and that's a -12. X's go away. So the y's, we get 18 and a -20. That's -2y equals 3 times 26. I think 3 times 26 would be about a 78 and -80. A -2. Do you believe it? Y is 1 after all that stuff. Let's stick it back up in and see what we get. Stick it into either there or there, doesn't matter. We have 3x plus 5 times 1 equals 20. Subtract 5 and we get 3x equals 15. Divide by 3 and we get x equals 5. Which means our solution is x is 5, y is 1. Let's just double check it really quick. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 6 times 1 is 6, 26. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 5 is 20 indeed.